other alternatives. So today I will discuss it from an economics perspective, from if you were in economics. So where does choice derive from? And the relationship between philosophy and economic theory. Those are the two main concepts that I will go over today. So the first part I'm going over is the philosophy aspect of it. Aristotle, as some of you may be aware, was a very important philosopher. Aside from being really great at math and developing mathematical theories, he developed philosophical ideas that can arguably be the center and the main focus of economics. So economics, the study of economics, can be attributed to Aristotle to a certain degree. And the reason for this is in 340 BCE, he wrote the book called Politics. And there were many books to it, and it talked a lot about the interactions of society and why we make certain choices in society for sustainability and why we move forward in life. So he talked a lot about happiness and getting wealth. He argued that you would make certain choices to attain happiness and that humans had unlimited wants. So by this, you continually strive for and keep amassing wealth, but wealth does not particularly attain happiness. So what does this mean? This means that you can be working and attain as much wealth as you want and buy multiple homes, but you can only live at one home at a time. So what drives you to choose which home you want to stay in? You choose it because it brings you happiness and it brings you have to correlate the monetary aspect of necessities with the spiritual aspect of happiness. Okay. So next, we can bring this into economics. So economics is a study of scarcity. It's a social science. So a lot of the theory behind it has to do with sustainability and making sure that everyone can achieve that. So we observe at what points will your satisfaction be fulfilled and how can we maximize that satisfaction. Okay. So scarcity is the idea that there are limited sources, and as Aristotle brought up earlier, humans have, to a certain extent, unlimited wants. So some of the basic resources, if you look at the natural resources in the world, these are it. And why we want to establish that these aren't the only resources that bring you happiness, but they are simply a necessity, and there are other things you look for. So economic theory, choosing between A and B. It's kind of repetitive. It kind of wraps up both Aristotle's thinking and just the economic theory behind scarcity and unlimited sources. One of the examples that might be more relatable to you guys would be this internet viral sensation that went on. It's one of the memes, and it was very active on Twitter and stuff. So there's a combination between good grades, social life, and enough sleep. If you're in college, you can only choose two. So that's looking at the two extremes. So if you want good grades and a social life, you won't have enough sleep. If you want enough sleep and good grades, you won't have a social life. And in economics, we try to study how to get towards kind of a middle. So this isn't completely true. You can weigh the costs and benefits, and you choose a medium that brings you ultimate satisfaction, so that you're not completely on the far end of just having good grades and enough sleep and not interacting with the rest of the world. So in conclusion, philosophical and economic theory can be applied to everyday situations, can be applied to work. Whether you're working at an office, if you work at an office and you're making a lot of money, well, you have that economics perspective that you're actually the monetary aspect. But then again, working a desk job, that also reduces your lifespan. So you can weigh like, oh, do I want more money or do I want to live longer and have an active life as well? With school, same thing. You guys are in class today to learn more. You can be doing other things. It also has to do with your career. Right now, you guys don't have to be at school. You guys could have gotten another job, but you weighed the costs and benefits, and you made the decision that education would be better for your future in both the economic aspect and life-fulfilling aspect. And just for life, making everyday choices, whether you get up in the morning and you want. Even when you go to Starbucks, which coffee do you want? Do you want the larger one, or do you want the smaller one? What benefits will it obtain for you in the future? So that's a good wrap-up of everything. Aristotle established the first economic ideas for the study of economics, and then we can apply this to everyday life.